everybody. Welcome to Terri TV. This is me, Terri Hardin, Disney Imagineer and Pop Icon. And I know that it has been a little while, but hey, here we are. It is a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. I will continue to work to broadcast around noon time every Tuesday to the best of my ability. And today I thought it would be nice to talk to you about how I am preparing for my Africa trip. Oh my goodness, that's right. I am getting geared up to go on an Africa trip later this year, and it's going to be a big one. And it was completely constructed and put together with the help of some wonderful friends. My friend Dave, DNA Travel, and it works. After talking to him about what I needed, basically what I wanted was the Lion King tour. So if you guys are familiar with Lion King, which I'm sure you all are, but for those of you who haven't, the original Lion King was a movie where they decided, meaning Disney decided, to send their animators out for about 5 days or so to go on safari and sketch the animals. And what better place to do it in Africa, especially if you're talking about Africa, right? So it's a trip I've always wanted to do all my life, and my father decided to give it to me as a gift before his passing. And so, in honor of my dad, who passed away just a couple years ago, still a bit of a pain for me, but this is the trip that I'm going on. And I wanted to share with you a presentation that I went to, because there's two camps here. I'm going with my husband, and I want to sketch. And so I have to say that one of the big helpers is Aaron Blaze. Now, Aaron is an amazing animator and illustrator and designer of many films. In fact, right now he's got one called Snow Bear, and you can see it on YouTube. But Aaron is an amazing teacher, and he brings on amazing people. And I am looking to learn gesture sketching, because when I'm out on safari, day or night, my job is to get the essence of the animal, to get the feeling of it, and to draw quickly. And some of the things that Aaron has taught me have been incredible. So I want to be able to tell you his website. Let me just pull it up for you while I'm here, and forgive me, it's tax season, but I just didn't want to miss you guys, and I wanted to share with you some Africa stuff. But we will come well, no, let's be good and jump right into I'm going to jump right into, and yes, I probably should have had this done before, but forgive me. I'm an artist and I don't think of everything. And then all of a sudden I thought, let me tell you about Aaron. Aaron and I met at Imagineering, although he may not remember that he met me, but I was designing the Dragon's Lair in Paris, and he came through Imagineering. He was a part of Imagineering, I think, around 88, I think, or 86. I know that I came in 87, and he is either on the back part or before that. Hard for me to remember when it was. But in any case, doesn't matter. I saw him, and then all of a sudden on Facebook, I saw this older person. I mean, aren't we all now? Older person talking about an animated film that he did that I absolutely adore, called Snow Bear. So if you haven't been on YouTube, go to YouTube, check it out. You're on YouTube. I'm broadcasting on YouTube right now. Just pop over and see Snow Bear. It's a short film. It's adorable. It's wonderful. It's fabulous. And you're going to love it. It's very precious. It's taken Aaron some time to do it. And it's finally done. And now you get the chance to see it. And then if you become a part of his group, then you too get to delve deeper into how he did it. He also is either currently having a big training for animators in Florida where he lives, but then he's also going to be here in LA in May with a panel. And on that panel, among others, is Don Hahn. So you see what happens in the life of an artist. And I have been Ghostbusters, Men in Black, a lot of puppet performing with the Jim Henson Company. And then I also I've created costumes and creatures. I was the designer for the Foster Farms chicken commercial, and then worked with the amazing character shop, Rick Lazarini's shop, that Rick took the initial designs that I interpreted while working with him and blew it up into years of an amazing commercial. And you can see that on one of my playlists. If you like the Foster Farms chickens, I played the passenger, the dumb one. And it was just it was an incredible run. We'd love to do those again, but who knows? Will we get to? We had a good run. It'd be great to do them again because they're so funny and they're so fun and they're amazing. But Don Hahn and I finally, after trying to get together over several times, we had breakfast together and we talked about the Lion King tour. And as you know, Don Hahn was instrumental in the making of Lion King, he talked about how the animators got to go to Africa for about 5 days and sketch animals, go on Safari and sketch animals. And I asked Don to go into great detail about the actual trip because I wanted to go to Africa. It was a bucket list item I never thought I was going to get to do. And it's been a couple years in the planning ever since Don and I had breakfast together. And so thank you, Don Hahn, for that. It's very exciting and my heart's beating like a rabbit, but I've gone to the zoo and I've worked on sketching the animals. I'm trying to get faster and more precise, but then I came across Aaron because of Snow Bear and then said, I know this man. I know we've met each other before and chatted before. Now, were we, side by side, friends to the end? No, but that's the way collaboration works as an Imagineer. As a Disney Imagineer, what happens is you've got a lot of people coming together, creating magic without the ego. So if you've ever been in a party where people lead with what they do and how amazing they are and everything, it's fun to learn about them. But it's really great to be with some major powerhouses, some mega artists who just don't tell you about themselves unless you ask. It's been wonderful to be in the company of a Greg Gian, of an Andreas Deja, of Don Hahn, people who just want to sit and chat with you and share stories about their experiences as well as your own experience. Many of you know my Dragon's Lair experience, when I stood before Tony Baxter and campaigned to make the dragon a moving, living being, which you can see now in the cavern underneath Disneyland's castle in Paris Disneyland. So this is the situation. This is the excitement. This is the fun thing. And I came across Aaron Blaze's work and I said to myself, this could be fantastic. Let me just give you, there we go. CreatureArtTeacher.com. Okay, CreatureArtTeacher.com is Aaron's site. CreatureArtTeacher.com. Forgive me, I wanted to read it. I wanted to get it right for you. I wanted to make sure that you had the absolute specifics on it. And what I'm going to do for you as well is I'm going to see, for some reason, there's something weird here. Hold on. This is me and technology, which is not my forte. So, I probably shouldn't bring that to your attention, but I'll bring it to your attention. It's not my forte. Holy cats. And then we're going to talk about Africa, okay? Because it all intermixes, all right? So we're going to do this one for you guys because I want you to have this. For those of you who want, let me just make sure, yes. For those of you, Creature Art, let me just make sure that I'm spelling it right before I pop it up for you guys. Okay, there we go. Now add this. Thank you. And I'm going to click on it. CreatureArtTeacher.com. That's Aaron Blaze's website. You can go there and learn about Snow Bear. If animation is your love, you can actually go to some training classes. You can purchase his trainings a la carte, or you can become a yearly member. He recently had something that was absolutely amazing. Give me a minute. My dog is being demanding. Say hello, Rocket. This is my dog, Rocket. Yes. Okay. Now, this was not what I was going to talk about. But anyway, Africa is a big deal for me. And my idea is to become a faster sketch artist so that I can capture the essence of the animals. Meanwhile, my husband is a photographer. He's someone who doesn't like me to say he's a photographer, but I think he takes amazing pictures. He keeps saying that's because I'm his wife, but no, the man has good sense of balance, and his stuff is just beautiful. And I asked him if he would take pictures of the animals we see while I sketch. That way, when we come back, I can have those photos for reference, but also my gestures will suggest how I want to paint the animals at a later date. I'm really getting into painting. I love painting. And I'm a sculptor by trade for Disney, for film industry. I did costumes. I did all kinds of stuff. Google me. Just Google Terri Hardin, and you can follow whatever, see more about me. Okay. You can go to my website as well if you want. But anyway, Creature Art Teacher is a great place for you to go to learn animation, drawing, creature creation, and you can do it per class, which means there's a price per class, or you can have an annual membership that allows you to do stuff. He also has an amazing book coming out, and if you order it, you can get it signed by him. So that book doesn't come out till June, but it's gorgeous, and it looks like it's going to be amazing. And this is some of the things that, as a Disney Imagineer, and I have been one for years, I am no longer in-house. I am known as the come here, get away Imagineer. They hire me when they need me, and that way I can keep my company. So that's another story. I won't get into that, but if you ever are someone who wants to know it, there you go. Okay, so there is about Aaron. Here is where you can find me, Instagram. You can also find me on Patreon. Now, Patreon, I go live. It's the only place I go live because I am 68 and a half. Okay. And I had to make a decision as an older person. I am working towards semi-retirement, number one. I don't want to, no artist really gets retired. And number two, I want to spend it doing my own art. So what does that mean after illustrating for Disney for a long time, or illustrating for Applause or Mattel, all of which I've worked for, right? How do you find you in all that? Well, sculpturally, I have discovered that. And if you go to my website, which let me find that for you. Luckily, there's these little banners here that allow me to just kind of give you some ideas of what's happening with Terri. So patreon.com/Terri Hardin. For just $5 a month, you put some skin in the game. You can then speak with me every week. I do a Zoom call, sometimes two, but mostly one a week. And then I do a pre-recorded on Tuesdays. And just like this, pre-recorded for you now, this is especially done for all y'all who are not a part of my tribe. But for my tribe, I also do a pre-recorded one on Tuesdays because Mondays are crazy for me. I just found out Mondays were so crazy. I couldn't keep consistent. And I think doing a Tuesday pre-recorded one and then a Zoom call, I'm becoming, hopefully, more consistent. There is one caveat in that, and that is right now it's tax season. So I'm a little bit up and downy, but anyway, I'm digressing. So anyway, so you can catch me here. You can also go to my website, which is terrihardin.com. So there's a couple of places you can learn more about me. But I have been studying with Aaron And it's not like Aaron is studying directly with me, but he has so many classes that have been helpful to me. I am in the middle of his animal drawing class, which is amazing. It's learning to sketch animals from life. And some of the suggestions he had there were just a blessing, just phenomenal, but also how to break the animal down into certain bits so that you can do a sketch quickly if you're on the fly. And it's been wonderful. I'm really loving it. And I've been drawing for years. I've been drawing since I was 3 years old. I've sculpted for the World Wildlife Foundation. I've sketched for charity, done all this stuff. So it's not like I don't know what I'm doing, but here's the point of that. You can always learn more. If you are sitting there saying to yourself, I'm bored, let me tell you from someone who is a Swiss Army knife in my industry that I don't know what that even means. I don't know what bored means. I cannot believe it. There is never enough time in the day for me to do all that I love to do. Uh, and nature is a favorite of mine. So I'm learning to paint. I started painting years ago when Chuck Jones reached out to me. Chuck Jones, of course, of the Bugs Bunny and Roadrunner Coyote, you name it, great characters, Looney Tune characters that he did. And he created a charity called the Red Dot. And if you're an artist and you want to be a part of the Red Dot charity organization, they will send you a canvas, or you can use your own canvas and submit it. And then that helps them taking your canvas. You do your canvas as for the kids, and you send that canvas in. Just Google Red Dot 19 19 that's when I started at Red Dot. Get with Red Dot and type in Red Dot and then also 2026, and you'll get all the information. They have a gala out in the Irvine area, and so if you're in California, you can go. And what it is all the paintings are collected and then they are auctioned off to raise money for his Center for Creativity for Children. And there he teaches people, are guests, and they teach animation and they teach drawing and they do all kinds of stuff like that. And now that I'm working my way towards semi-retirement, I'd love to be a part of that soon. But I always enter the charity auction. I'm always doing something. And years ago, and I mean way back, this is 17 or 18, Red Dot 17 or 18, and I started at Red Dot 4. And it's because I just love being a part of it. I love contributing. My tribe on Patreon, all of the people that are there, many of them have contributed, and we've been responsible for raising, last year I think it was $1,200 or something like that. So I'm so proud of the fact, oh, forgive me a minute. See, I get distracted because of animals too. And I think there's a really fuzzy one out in the tree out back, trying to see what it is. He's having a field day in there up there. I can't imagine it's a possum. I can't tell what it is, but anyway, it's big in the tree out back. So it's not a koala bear. Uh, I'm not in Australia, but pretty impressive. Wow. Anyway, forgive me, squirrel. But anyway, so as a result, I got very, very, very excited about this Africa trip. And you meet the Red Dot auction. Just Google Red Dot and or hit me up on Instagram, which is of course right here. Hit me up on Instagram and I will tell you about the Red Dot. But it's really fun. They'll either send you a canvas, you paint it and send it back. No harm, no foul, or you can get your own canvas and do it. And this year, the theme is laughter, but you don't have to do Looney Tune characters. There is a man who always paints a nude. Very, very beautiful nudes, kind of sketched and paint. And there's people that come just for his nudes. So you can sort of start a trend with yourself. Some people do Disney, some people do Tweety Bird, some people do Snoopy. But a lot of people then just do their own thing. Last year we had a pair of tennis shoes somebody made and they went for a good deal. They had designed tennis shoes and they did it. I say the painting is the easiest, the simplest, and the less cost to you. But still, if you are excited about it and you want to donate something supercalifragilistic, there's been gorgeous paintings. There's also artists who demo there. It's a great gala. We always have fun getting together, playing the games, and being with all of the people who bid on the auction. And then, of course, I bid sometimes on some of the auction pieces, but it's great. It's great. Anyway, so that's how I started painting. Was I was invited to paint for this, and I hadn't painted since I was 7, and I had never painted in acrylics since I was 7, and I hated them back then. Well, now they've changed a bit, and I'm learning some great new techniques, and I've fallen in love with painting because unlike my sculpting, and Erin had a beautiful guest on this last weekend that I got to observe, named Terrell. And she is a creature designer. She loves dinosaurs, but she also is a creature designer. She's designed for all the biggies, Lucasfilm and Spielberg and all of them. But she was saying how when she's sketching, she's over her drawing pad. She has a Cintiq. She's over her drawing pad, but it means that when you're sketching, you're like this. You're kind of, when I'm sculpting, I'm like this. Okay. Painting allows me to be like this. Painting frees me. I don't paint digitally. I've painted digitally, but I paint on canvases. And I have an amazing easel that my husband gave me for birthday last year that is incredible. And if you want to see it sometime, just message me and I'll do a video about this. But it's an amazing oh, it's just amazing. It's like a transformer. Am I speaking too much like a 68-year-old about my transformer? But it's a transformer easel. You can sit, you can tilt, you can lay it flat, you can just, it folds into a million wonderful things. And it's been my blessing when I go out and paint in nature, which I don't get to do very often. But I take my sketch pad, and thanks to Erin, one of the things that was like, oh, this is a great idea, is that he suggests my sketch pad not be white paper, but gray paper. And then I take a light pencil and a dark pencil and can do gestural drawings using shadow and light. Duh. I mean, how long have I been drawing that for some reason that wasn't in my brain? So when I saw Aaron talk about some of the things that he does when out sketching, and he reminded me of that. And that's what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about. And I love it. So I have been working, going to zoos and places in my area where I can sketch and get the gestures down, because I will be doing the Lion King tour, a Lion King type tour later this year with my husband, bringing us to my husband's situation and this event right here. So let me just tap here and take you to this event right here. This is a Sigma event, and it's Discovering African Wildlife. My husband saw this and thought this would be a great thing to not only enlighten me, but to help him. His question was, how am I going to shoot from the safari truck and get some really strong flexibility in what I want to shoot? Many times when you're on African safari, you are in the middle of a preserve, a sanctuary where the animals are protected. They're not hunted. They can relax. They can have their babies. They can live a nice, quiet life. And the trucks that go in, the one that we're going in, will go pretty much by itself. It'll be us and maybe one other group. There's only, I think they told me, 5 people per truck, which means we have the ability to move around. Forgive me, I'm looking out there at this creature again. We have the ability to move around. We have the ability to, if we see something in the front and we see something in the back, or we see something on the side. But my husband saw that many people who we've watched shoot have these massive lenses, these massively long lenses. And the one he's looking to, in case you're a photographer out there and you want to send me some comments, or you want to send us something that would help us, I mean, like really help us, because here's the deal with these 2 guys, brilliant wildlife photographers. Their stuff is very beautiful. But It's not the kind of stuff. I don't have pictures of their art because out of respect, I did not want to take pictures of their work. And they had a movie, intellectual property you have to be careful of. But Sigma is a lens company. And if we show you the lens wall at this location we were at, let me just add this one. Look at this. I mean, doesn't this look like a bar? What's your pleasure? And it's all camera lenses. It's all lenses for your camera. The lens, you see that person standing there by their elbow is the lens in question, the 200 to 600 lens that Lindsay wanted to check out. He knew all about it, but what he was looking for was, please, sir, can you give me some pointers on what you might use? Because here's the caveat. Are you ready? The caveat is weight. Not weight as in wait for it, but weight as in heavy. Okay. When you're traveling through Africa, a lot of the planes are small. And so you cannot have an excessive amount of weight when you go from point A to point B. And we're going to a few locations. As a result, I have been obsessed with weight. How heavy is the system for the camera? For myself, it's going to be some pencils, it's going to be a pad, and it's going to be, a sketch pad and a journal, and then my pencils and a couple of erasers. That's it. The idea is to get the gestures, right? Right? But my husband needs to have a camera kit. And this is where he tried to ask people, even at this Sigma event, about the camera kit that they used. And it was interesting because we were at a Sigma location. Now, this is very important to all of you. The goal for these two men they were sponsored by Sigma. So we began to feel right away that there were things that they glazed over. In other words, I asked, talk to me about weight. What kind of weight are you talking about? Their answer was, I take a carry-on and a backpack. That was not what I asked. What is the weight of your camera kit? They would not tell me. And I asked a couple of times, and then they went to someone else and talked to someone else, as though I was asking something that was inappropriate. Not inappropriate if you're going to Africa. And these guys have been to Africa several times. So excuse me, why aren't you answering my question? Well, because my husband said Sigma was concerned it could be off-putting. If they tell you that in order to carry this, it might be heavy, as I don't know the weight of it right now, then what? But thanks for playing. Yeah, but thanks for playing. So that's the challenge that I'm having. That's I'm going to turn my camera a little bit here. There we go. There. I'm going to give you a little different angle just because I can. I usually have my studio up, but it's under construction right now. So, all will be better later. But at this point, let me just continue to point out to you that, I didn't understand why. Okay, let's say you are a Sony company or a Canon company or a Nikon company or these are the lenses you're selling, Sigma being a lens, that you would not be helpful if someone said, you know what, I'd like to have the best lens that I can, that's lightweight. Can you give me some examples? And they wouldn't even give us Sigma lenses because the lens to sell that day was their just under $2,000 long lens. And just give me a minute. Important thing. Let me see. Let's see. Boom. Oh goodness. Okay. All right. Okay, that was kind of important. That wasn't very important. So Lindsay's off and taking care of a friend of ours. In any case, this is the thing that I want to talk about is that, let's say that Sony is your lens of choice, or let's say that Canon is your lens of choice. If you're a photographer, you can help me with this. Why wouldn't you recommend to somebody the best lens for their trip? Why? Because you want to be helpful. Okay, maybe you believe that your Sony lens, your Canon lens, your Nikon lens, whatever lens it is the best lens. But maybe one of these places doesn't carry it. Maybe there's a reason I shouldn't be getting this one, or I should be getting this one. Tell me all of the benefits of the Sigma lens, and tell me all of the not great so benefits. Well, they wouldn't tell us the not benefits, because I guess their concern was if they told me the problem or the challenges with this lens, that I wouldn't buy it. Really? Now, I come from Disney Imagineering, Walt Disney Imagineering, where we collaborate without ego. And maybe I'm comparing apples to oranges, but I would think that if you are a wildlife photographer and you have that Cadillac life where your planes are paired for and you're going on a safari alone, you are able to take a big bag full of lenses because it's your personal safari, because you're amazing. That's awesome. That's so cool. And I really am excited. But if you're not that person, how do we, because you didn't just wake up and pop up. And you did. I saw it. You go ahead and drive careful. It's still wet out there. That was my husband. Uh, you didn't just pop out of your mom knowing all of this about camera equipment. You had a learning curve too. And I'm kind of getting a little bit saddened by the fact that nobody will share with us what we might do to create a good camera kit to go to Africa that's light. Okay? That's what I'm asking. I thought these two fellows would be great because here you go again, and we're going to go over here to this one. They are wildlife photographers known for their ability, been doing it for years, been selling their prints, been hosting some classes, have been making films. How can you do this without assisting up and coming eager photographers? And let me make this point very clear, fellas and Sigma. Let me show you this amazing lens bar, which was wonderful. We are not looking to come back and sell the images as professionals. My husband simply wants to take some seriously good pictures that tell a story. That's what I need as an artist, that tell a story, that help me. I need it to tell a story so that I can bring it back and take the gestures that I've done and create this. And this is my need. And it was a great group of people at Sigma. Don't get me wrong, good group, but none of them would share with us this difference, would not tell us the weight of the camera kit, would not tell us I wonder if he can't find the car. I parked it down the street. But the weight situation, we have to be concerned right down to the fact of shoes we put in and clothing. As we work our way towards the trip, every article counts as weight. And here's the thing that sort of slipped out as we were leaving. How are you downloading? What are you doing each day? Once your camera, how many cards, how many batteries was what my husband was asking. These two men said 3 to 4 batteries is good. And then they said they recommended a particular card to pop into the camera to record the photos that you do at the safari day and night, and then in the evening download them to what? A laptop. Wait a minute. You're right. We've got to think of a laptop to bring our stuff in. Or is that the most ideal way to download? Because a laptop can be heavy, especially if it has a protective covering on it. They can get heavy. I'm telling you, ounces matter when you fly. If you're not going to see family in Africa and staying in one place, or you're going to stay in one place in Africa and basically drive around and walk around, I think even then, bulk and weight is important. It's very, very important. So this was the frustration we felt from Sigma, because Sigma lenses didn't want to tell us the weight. They didn't want to, I mean, all we were asking is, how heavy is it? We lifted it. It wasn't so heavy. But what is the weight? Why won't you tell us? Why would you share with us other options? What did you do to keep the weight down if you went on your African safari? Many people who go on an African safari, like a tourist, use their iPhone, but that doesn't work for us. That will not work for us. It's a great thing, the iPhone. It's amazing, but it won't work for us. Are you cold? Here. Okay, let me just cuddle you a bit more. It's a iPhone won't work. It's not going to get me what I need. I've taken enough pictures at the zoo to know it's not enough. And so we want to have an actual camera like these professionals use, because who knows when we're going to get to go to Africa again. This is a bucket list thing I thought I was never going to do. And it's important. It's important to me to have help. So the next thing I'm going to do is the group that I'm going with, and it's a very intimate group of people. So it's not like 30, 40 people. It's more like 20 or 15 people. And it drops down to like 8 to 12 when we get to Cape Town, because I'm going there too. But the situation is this. So what I really want to have happen is to get some answers from some people who take more professional photography. You don't need to be these two fellas. But what I'd love to have, so there's a Facebook page that's our group and it's private. So I'm going to pop in there and ask some of the people. There's a couple of people returning, but many people aren't returning because it's expensive to get to Africa and to do it right. If you have family there, you can do it decently, but it's not a place that you go and you drive yourself. Okay, you are in the middle of wild country. This is not a zoo. This is not the San Diego Wild Animal Park. This is a place where the animals live and you have to have protection because they are wild. Like, not as in cool, although they're cool, they are wild animals. So if you're looking to go and put a cheetah or a panther on a leash, this is not for you. Okay, this is crazy time. I'm just going to say that's a little bit nutty. You don't go on a road by yourself in a rental car. Do you need to get down? Go ahead. In a rental car, you cannot do this and drive yourself. African elephants are some of the most aggressive creatures. The hippo, although darling, is the most deadly in Africa. So you can't just walk up to them or walk up to the little babies and get pictures. You have to be respectful. This is why it has taken me close to 2.5 years. I have been studying, interviewing, what do I wear? How do I wear it? My husband has been looking at camera equipment. Right now, we're thinking of possibly renting, because honestly, to purchase something like this, when are we going to use it again? So one thing I will say is that this Sigma presentation helped me to realize the importance of having a good tool. So I have said to my husband, put the camera kit together that you would like to have and let me know what it costs to rent it. Then we will go to the places that rent these kits and I will ask how long for the duration that I'm going to be there. So we're not going to be there a week. We're going to be there a couple weeks. We're going to be there close to a month, actually. And so if we're going to do this, I need to talk to them about, do you have a special if we do a couple weeks in a row? Sometimes they may say yes, sometimes they may say no. And the earlier we do it, and reserve it, I think the better right now. I think also that we should test it out by going to a wild animal park, like I mentioned. San Diego has a great one, or a zoo and shooting, let's see what this lens can do. Is this lens what he really needs? Because one of the things that I will tell you as an artist is inferior tools really will drive you crazy if you're working on tools that aren't quite right. Now, when you start, yes, whatever you can do, however you can draw on typing paper, uh, a grocery bag. I don't care what it is. Use markers, use pen and pencil, whatever you do, draw, 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 draw. But once you have sold some of your stuff or have gotten a little bit of accolades or whatever, and you can afford a little better equipment, this is something that will change your life. Okay. So when I was sculpting in clay and oil clays being something that doesn't dry from the air, a water clay, and when I teach clay sculpting classes, I like a clay called wed clay. WED stands for Walter Elias Disney, designed by Imagineers for what we do at Imagineering. And at Imagineering, we usually sculpt something up if it's big, okay, in a water clay, most likely because it's less expensive. And it's got more silt in it, so it holds water better. And then if you practice, you can watch it dry. So, for example, I did a life-size portrait of Bill Gates for Microsoft, and I did the head. Bring me the head of Bill Gates. I did this for their lobby. I did the head, and I did it out of wet clay because they needed it fast. They wanted it sculpted in like a week, and I ended up sculpting it in like a couple days. And lucky me, I just happen to be a big Bill Gates fan, so it was easy. I'm not saying I'm brilliant. I'm saying that it's an easy thing to do when you like the person, and I love Bill Gates. So I did this head of him, and I used wet clay. And by knowing the properties of the clay I was sculpting, because I'm what? A sculptor. As a sculptor, I knew the various stages I wanted the water clay to get to in order to get the most pristine results I could get. Right? I also did a sculpture of a small boy for Days of Our Lives, a puppet that was built by a particular studio. I can't remember what he called his studio. He's now retired. But I sculpted this head for this boy who didn't want to take a head cast because he was 4. Sometimes you get a bit claustrophobic when you have a face cast made of you. And the so I sculpted him. He was Will, little young boy Will, in there, and the same deal. I did the same thing. I used the wed clay, the Walter Elias did, much better than water clay. Okay, so you may be saying, what about the ceramic water clay? The ceramic water clay doesn't hold the water the same because, after all, you're looking to fire that clay. The wed clay is not for firing. It's for taking a mold off it. Yeah. Does that make sense? If it doesn't, comment to me and I will, or message me on Instagram here so that you can, message me on Instagram, go to my website, whatever you think you want to do, feel free to do it. Did you see the light? Come on. This is a new feature in the new version of the Apple computers. It's kind of neat. Yeah. Appreciate it. I usually have lots of lighting in my studio. I won't need it in my studio, but my studio is under construction. Did I mention that? I did, didn't I? Yes. Anyway, as a sculptor, since I've been sculpting since I was a little kid, and I've done lots of all kinds of creatures, all kinds of characters, and a lot of things really, really tiny because I have this thing about miniatures. Also products for Disneyland and Mattel and so on and so forth. Like I said, I'm 68. I have a big Swiss Army knife of abilities. And so if I'm a sculptor and I know the phases of the clay, because why? I practiced the phases of the clay. I was able to produce a really good product for Microsoft and for Days of Our Life and for many others. My point is that this is the beauty of getting together. I have not done two-dimensional painting. I actually told myself I wasn't that good at it. And so I said, well, there's a way to get good at it. Just practice. And with things like YouTube to at least introduce you into some of the great stuff, it leads you to other stuff. And on Facebook, I saw Aaron Blaze. I realized that I recognized Aaron, and I decided to become a part of his website, his training area. And there's so much stuff there that I hope I have enough time to take as much as I can. Am I interested in doing anything animated? Well, I'm a puppeteer, so that's how I animate. But what you learn from animation, don't you, is the way animals transition from one body movement to another. One of my favorite books that I happen to own is a first edition copy of Muybridge's 3 Animals in Motion, Men in Motion, Women in Motion. It's a first edition. It took a long time for me to get it, and I use it like crazy because it has stills. What he did is he set up cameras, and then he ran animals and people across it with lines that showed what happens when they move. But it's a set of stills. Click, 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 click. So that, like in animation, if you were to run them together, forgive me, you would see how this person moves. And one of the things he discovered was when a horse runs, how many feet are actually on the ground, pardon me, at one time. Many thought it was 3, many thought it was 2. It's actually, as I recall, 1. Very quickly, but that's what they discovered. This is exciting because then when you are posing in sculpture, you can make your poses really dynamic if you stretch the envelope, if you push the envelope, and you do more than this. This is okay. Okay, this is fine. If you like this, great. But I'm finding that I am someone who's always wanted to tell a story with my art. Now, I do these little ones that tell a story. They're called impressions, and they're little Disney things that I do that are more reasonably priced than most of the stuff that I do. And it's wonderful. They're charming and people love them. They kind of capture something. It's not taking a still from the movie and capturing the movie. It's taking an incident. It's taking the character and learning about the character and then creating something out of my mind that I think the character would do that I haven't seen. That makes sense? And like I said, you can go to my website, click online store, and you can kind of peruse and you'll see what I've been doing. Haven't done a lot in the last couple of years because I lost my parents, and it was challenging for me. My dad was my hero, and I thought I would be cool, and I had some challenges. I actually experienced depression for the first time in my life, and honestly, that's pretty doggone good at 68. One time I experienced it, and worked hard to get out of it. So I've developed a system for myself to get out of it. Act as if is really a great one. Donating my time to charity really helps because when you help people achieve what they want, funny how you seem to get what you need, right? And there was an amazing speaker, Zig Ziglar, who used to say, do enough of what they need and you'll get what you need. And I'm not quoting it exactly, but he had something there, right? So so there you go. I I will continue. One of the things that my husband pointed out in his study is that one of the things that the Sigma skated over, bless their little hearts, they do want to sell their lens after all, and who can blame them? Is that if you have a Sony camera body, okay, which they did not have on the lens there, but we noticed that the professional, these two fellows right here, let me show you them again. so that you know. These, whoopsie, no. I will, this one. This is, there we are. Oh, that's huge. Let's not do that. Let's do this one. There you go. Yay, I did it. Oh, I'm so glad you're patient. These two fellas here, they had a Sony body on the back of this 200 to 600 lens by Sigma. And my husband has been studying as much as I have been training sketching. He's been studying photography, okay? And one of the things he points out is that Sony has a limiter, meaning that if you put an alien lens, meaning non-Sony lens, into the camera body, and if you are a professional photographer, and I'm wrong, please message me and let me know, okay? Because I really want to know this for my husband. But that it limits how some of the things that the lens does because it's a different lens and they want you to buy a Sony lens. So if you buy a Sony lens, 200 to 600 length, right? Has wide angle, all of that. It will give you the full range of all the bells and whistles. But if you put an alien lens, Sigma, Nikon, something else on there, on that camera body, which is compatible, it limits things you can do. So in Africa, you have the lens, you're holding it like this, and you're shooting, or you're holding it like this, and you're shooting, okay? And you're following an animal running, and you're click, 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 click. You're kind of click, 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 click. It only allows you to do a small amount of click, 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 click. And forgive me because I don't know what that's called. I'm not a photographer. I'm the one who sketches. Ask me what pencils I use. Uh, but this is what my husband was trying to explain to me. I am more visual, and these two guys never would answer that question. Lord love you. I know you're being sponsored by Sigma, and they didn't want to get into any kind of trouble, but ow, it's just not helpful. And someone should tell me that because you don't want to spend $1,500 on a Sigma lens, click it to your Sony body, and find out you can't do all of the things that they showed us at this event this Sigma lens can do. Right? I mean, seriously, am I right? So I know I've been talking to you for about an hour. It's because Africa is very special to me. And it means a lot to me to get this right because it's a bucket list item. I'm 68 years old and I don't know when the next time I'll get to go. So I'm going to work on it in my sketching. He's going to work on it in his photography as if it's the only time we're going. Then if we get to go again, bonus, right? Yeah. So what am I trying to say to you? I think you've got this, but just in case you're wondering, what is it I'm trying to convey to you? I'm just trying to convey to you that when you go to some of these presentations, look at the whole picture. Are they sponsored by a company and are they restricted in what they can say to you? And if they are, it's becoming more and more difficult to find someone who just wants to help you shoot well and do well. He's working so hard to do it. And I told him basically the pictures need to tell a story. I don't need a lot of stunning portraits, although I will be doing some stunning portraits. I want it to tell a story as if he was there and he was going to share with me on his return what he saw and the story behind it. One of the best things these two fellas did was, oh, that's not the one I wanted. This one is kind of weird. That one, no. That one, no. That one, yes. Forgive me. Um, But one of these two, they did a movie, and when they did the movie, it was lion cubs wrestling and playing. They were, I think he said 5 cubs, and it was gorgeous. The photos they took of these cubs playing and leaping and jumping. And then he shot a portrait, speaking of portraits that tell a story, a portrait of a matriarch, a patriarch, the king, the lion, the king of beasts lion, king of beasts lion. Forgive my words. I'm 5 years old, actually. I just live in a 68-year-old body. And he had scars. He had just been through a very difficult battle and he had scars there. And the story on this lion, as he sat and his eyes looked directly at these two men when they snapped the picture with the scars and everything, told you a story. That's what I want. That's what I want. I want that stuff. I want that stuff. It basically, that story was, I may look beat up, but I still got a lot in me, pal. Don't you dare get any closer, is basically what I thought that said. Or I will die for my family. I think it's clear. It just great stuff. Just great stuff. So I am so excited to go. My heart's beating like a rabbit. I'm concerned about weight. Basically, what these two fellas did tell me is if you have to decide between your camera kit and clothes, leave the clothes. Take one thing and who cares if you stink because you're never going to see these people again, is basically what they said. And I think that was the most endearing thing that they said was, hell with it. You're there to get what you're going to get. What is your mission? And that's my mission. So I hope you'd enjoyed me sharing this with you. I will share more of my Africa journey as I go because maybe it'll be helpful. Don't lose faith. Don't give up. Okay. I will be happy to show you what we've come up with early enough so that you, if you are a professional photographer or a photographer who's been to Africa and you use more than the iPhone, I'd love to hear from you. And also, uh, uh, I will share with you what we are working on because weight is a factor for us. So if it helps you, yay. But if you look at it and you go, my concern is with what you're doing is that, learning it before we go would be lovely. Okay. So although this may seem like something that, wasn't Disney-fied, it is because it's definitely the Lion King tour. You may say, where are you going? We're going to the Masa in Kenya, the one where the water, all the animals go to the water, the hippos swim in the water. These two fellas had some really great hippo shots. But the shot they showed us was really uninteresting to me compared to the ones in the film, which just blew me away. There's a couple where there's like all the hippos are kind of, I mean, just amazing because hippos are so cute and so lethal. The kind of critter that looks like something you want to hug, but don't, as they could eat you in one bite. So this is some of the things that they're telling us, as crazy human beings. Don't go walking off and looking at a baby on your own. Don't wear a bright color and then go, hey, lion. Can you believe that there are people out there that are going, lion, look this way? Really? Are you kidding? Cheetah. I mean, they're out there, guys. They are. So we're trying to be the group that can get everything that we all want without annoying the people who are kind enough to guide us and not embarrassing us as tourists. We just don't want to be those people. We've heard some really amazing stories, and I saw a video today of a woman who saved her own life by jumping into her car and praying that African elephant didn't pursue her further. I don't know what she did or how she ended up where she was, but that is a terrifying short, and you don't want to be on that end. The amazing Joe Hale, who is no longer with us, he did lots of films for Disney. Very talented. He went on an African safari, and his wife used to do my taxes. And it's tax season, so I think I can leave you with this story. He snuck outside of a building where they were eating because he saw a male African elephant and wanted to get a closer shot with his camera. This is before iPhones, this is before computers, this was regular film camera. And he stepped out to take this picture, and he got a little bit too close. Well, let me tell you the end of the story. He was not hurt or injured, but he got his cardio in that day as he ran around the building where people were eating to avoid this elephant who decided he wasn't having it. So the pictures are gorgeous, but he almost died getting them. Let's not do that either. So this is why I decided to come on and take this hour to share this with you today. I hadn't seen you in a while, so I thought you deserved it. If you're someone who wants to be boom, 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 you just go ahead and watch it in the sections and that best suit you. And I hope you enjoyed today. And next Tuesday, who knows? Maybe I'll be less of a chatter, but that's rare for me. So again, I'm Terri Hardin. This is Terri TV. I'm a Disney Imagineer, pop icon. I've done Ghostbusters, Men in Black, built many, many things, including the Dragon's Lair, In the Cave, the 35-foot dragon, fully articulated, all of that exciting show. My fault. And I didn't do it alone. I had some others help me, you know, but it's quite a claim to fame. And I'm happy to be a part of all that was. My life is quite busy. Look for my memoir in the future. It's fine. I finally signed up with a publisher, so that's happening. And more on that later. Okay, so guys, do something nice for someone else. It'll make you feel a whole lot better. Now, that's my tag, but listen to the tag. Go out, do something nice for someone else. It'll get you out of your own head. I hung on this for this past 2 years as I went through some really difficult times. If it hadn't been for Terri's Tribe, I don't know what I would have done. So for those of you who would like to talk to me live because it sounds like a good idea, patreon.com/Terri Hardin. For as little as $5 a month, you can be included. I want to be of service, and I want to have a community that is willing to put skin in the game to get some of my attention. You got to do this, okay? I'm not asking much, but I am asking that. All right, my friends, you be well, be safe, and bye for now.